All right, welcome to the third view of the evening. Up this time is Risky Woods. Battle your way through risky woods and murky caves, stomping skeletons, traps to trick you, face gripping flying fiends. Uh, Everything you could possibly want from an arcade adventure. Fortunately, you, the warrior Rohan, have arrived to deliver justice to the evil hordes. With weapons in hand, you must enter the risky woods and face and free the monks from their petrified captivity. Only when you set the monks free and sent Draxos back to hell will wisdom be restored for good. This game is an action platformer very similar to shoot 'em up games like Turrican, Jim Power, and Contra. Right, so this game was assigned to the Gogs for review, so over to him for the details.
So yeah, this is a pretty classic retro platformer. It's unforgiving in a lot of ways, and I did not get very far on account of respawning fucking skeletons interrupting your jumps. But so yeah, you can.
Were they spooky?
I will.
Scary
I will address the game itself first, and then I will address some issues with the way presented here. So you basically are trying to get to the end of the level. You don't die in one hit, but you die in relatively few hits. Apparently, if you pick up a lot of coins, like 30 something, you gain extra armor or something. Although, again, some of this is mechanics that I was not able to figure out because I either died too fast or but yeah, I had to find a manual for a different version of this game to figure some of the stuff out. So to pick up coins or anything else, you have to tap down. Treasure chests and some other things have drop items or that are quote unquote power-ups, except by power-ups I mean you get points for them or they fuck with you. Like Pettyfan picked up the backwards pointing arrows are either 10,000 points or send you back to an earlier point of the stage at random. There's one that'll flip the screen upside down at random instead of giving you 10,000 points or whatever. So ultimately, there are a few that actually restore your health, but like...
Good luck.
A, there's nothing that actually tells you this unless you find the manual. And B, they're not the most common ones. So yeah, the enemies just keep running at you. You don't get like ridiculous knockback from them, but you get enough to fuck up your jumps, which is hard. Oh yeah, also if you press escape, you just die.
Sounds about right.
I think it's supposed to be like a restart function, but functionally you just die. I guess the fact that you can throw your knives is a small mercy, but that's about all you get. And then this ugly fucker is on the game over screen. Looks like a cross between Gremlins and a sunflower or something. So I'm glad to see that Pettyfan is not like breezing through the stuff that was giving me a pain in the ass. Because it means I don't just suck at it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was also looking to see on the Steam page if it even had its manual there, and no, they do not.
Yes. Well, like I said, so yeah, you have to tap down to pick anything up, and that does temporarily, if you are spamming throw knife, it does temporarily interrupt that. Enemies spawn endlessly from either direction. We did get to the point where the thing that almost made me throw up my hands is there are like pretty well telegraphed falling blocks in your path. But the thing is, they aren't just blocks that fall out from under you that you like step on and then jump off of quickly. They're blocks that when you step on them, a gigantic boulder falls from the sky, hits you, and takes them out. And you can't jump because of the boulder. So basically, when you see those things, you have to either jump almost entirely over them and then jump to the next thing, or you have to jump over them and the gap in one jump, because basically if you get hit by the boulder, you're going to fall down the hole. Thankfully, that's not an instant, like, full death, but it does, like, send you back before the jump, so you have to try again. And yeah, a lot of the jumps are, they're not, like, hard jumps, but with the way the game's controls are, they're kind of hard. Also, to get any significant amount of points or coins, you generally have to stand in one place and shoot things a lot, which is tricky when enemies are constantly spawning from just off screen.
If they're even bold enough to do it off screen.
Right. Thankfully, I think it's just the skeletons that spawn endlessly, but that's still enough. Oh yeah, the apples do heal you, but they also put you to sleep. And you can be attacked while you're asleep and your health is going back up. So, good mechanics.
I hate this.
Yeah, that's generally my experience. Is they took like almost everything that makes platforming games a pain in the fucking ass and put all of that in like the first fucking level. I can't even tell you if the later levels are less bad because you couldn't. Well, I can't say you couldn't pay me to get good enough at it, but paying me to get good enough at it to keep doing it is not within this show's budget.
Allegedly, there is a screenshot of somebody starting up level 2, so it is theoretically beatable.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't even know what the fucking eye thing is.
What the
I think it may just send you back to earlier in the stage beams.
This is just how video games fucking
It's doing
work.
damage. Huh?
Those sparkles sure do have a perceptible hitbox, don't they? So yeah, that's about what my experience was with that part of playing the game. Now let's get to the other part. The Steam thing.
Boy.
The Steam thing, when I opened it, it gives you one of those friggin' manual DRM things where like it says enter the 8th symbol on page 23 of the manual or whatever. They seem to have disarmed this because I have pressed multiple ones of those and gotten into the game, unless you like have to do the right one, and if you do, it turns off the fucking endlessly spawning skeletons. But that seems a little bit
I'd
too
guess they
deliberate.
probably just cracked because they didn't give you a copy of the manual.
Yeah, they probably just turned it off. So this is the DOS version. It plays in a very basic, according to Pettyfan, version of DOSBox. There's no documentation in the game, and there's no documentation provided with the game. So in order to learn some things, such as the fact that coins give you armor eventually, I found the manual for the Genesis version, which also had a couple of other, useful information things. But obviously, for a physical cartridge, you don't have to worry about DRM, because the entire purpose of the DRM is to keep people from saving the game to a floppy disk and giving it to 1,000 friends. So I kind of question providing the PC and only the PC version.
Mm-hmm.
Pico often includes multiple versions of their games, and also this game does not play with. I mean, you might be able to hack the DOSBox to read a controller better, but it has no controller support, and understand that people exist who can play 2D platformers with a keyboard. I do not understand these people. Their lifestyle is foreign to me.
You have to grow up with keyboards. I did that a lot.
For anyone wondering, it looks like this is using DOSBox 0.74, so use that information as you will.
Yeah. Like,
So yeah, maybe there's a version that would let you use a thing. So if you're comfortable hacking or running the executable in your own version of DOSBox or whatever, then sure do that. But I'm sure also you might have,
It looks like
other ways of acquiring the game.
oh. So if you go into the Steam folder for it, they have a README.
Oh, would have been nice if they mentioned that. What does it say?
Oh, this is the
See if I can find
DOSBox
that.
manual.
Mostly the DOSBox manual.
Yeah, looks like it.
So yeah, so aside from the actual content of the game, which is kind of a bullshit early platformer, but like not exotically so.
Yeah. Though looks like you can get just the game files, and you could probably just dump this to a floppy and throw it in an actual DOS computer if you felt so inclined.
Mm-hmm.
Or, dump it into a not crap version of DOSBox.
So yeah, aside from that, I also kind of just take issue with the way that it's presented. I do not like not getting a manual for a game that could really use one, and not getting the confusion, because the first time I turned it on, I shut it down and tried to look for the manual to find out what the DRM was before I tried, and conveniently it turns out that I guess they either cracked it or something. But
I can't even capture the fucking DRM screen.
that's
That's
hilarious.
dumb.
So yeah, I don't think the game is terrible, though I also don't think it's good or particularly standoutish. But also I am displeased at the package in which it has been provided.
Oh god,
how much are they asking for it, Adam?
$8.99.
I probably wouldn't pay that much for it.
I mean, I guess if you had access to a better version of DOSBox, if I would have known this was going to be this problematic, I would have, grabbed a decent version and shoved the ROM into that. But I don't exactly have time to set that up on air.
Right.
But I guess still $8 for something like this is a little much. If this was sub 5,
No. $8.99. So $9.
$9 for something like this. If this was under 5, sure. Because this isn't even this. Before doing this review, I have not heard of this game before. It's not like a great of the era.
Apparently in Japanese it was known as Jashin Draxos.
Okay.
But yeah, it looks like the only cool thing about this is it's an early Electronic Arts title, it looks like, which... Cool?
Mm-hmm.
Note the sarcasm in my voice, please. But yeah, I guess that's all from me on that.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to enlighten us with here, Golix?
Not really. Some of the game design in this is just really baffling. It's not unique, but
Well, I guess bear
you
in
might get
mind this is
10,000
also from
points, or it might warp you
'92,
back
so
to the
it's
beginning of the fucking level is not something that I can comprehend ever being a good idea.
well, this is also from '92, Gulick. So game design ethos was very different 32 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also
okay,
remember this. Also remember that this is a platformer that was made for PCs, so it's going to be built a bit different.
There are power-up weapons and stuff, but you have to like make it to a specific enemy and beat them to get those. So I had no experience with it because I also did not get past the fucking eye that shoots send you back 100 feet beams. Apparently there are 12 stages, so that's kind of a lot.
Anything else?
I think that's about it.
Okay, so that'll about do it for Risky Woods here. Be sure to tune in after the break as we review Akumi Wars.